In this video, I'll demonstrate a new type of chart called a map or a field map. It's going to be based on states. I've opened the beer data, and just to demonstrate how quickly we can summarize data, I'm going to use the unique function, and I want to get a unique list of states out of this database. So I will type beers, we'll go to the state column, square bracket, hit enter, and there, that fast is all 50 states. I want to sort them, so I will, in front of unique, type the sort function in parentheses. And so now I have our 50 states sorted, and I want to get rid of the formula, so I will go shift control down arrow, control copy or control C, and then we'll just paste the values. And that gets rid of our formula and just leaves the 50 states. And now, of course, I want to count how many beers we have in each state. So I'll normally do count ifs. The range of the criteria is the same, beers, and then square bracket, we'll do the state. And what is the criteria? Well, for the first one, it's Alaska. So I'll select that, hit enter, and so there's 25 beers from Alaska, and I will double click that. So now I have summarized data about how many beers are from each state. Let's chart that. So I'll select the information, and under insert maps, here's a field map. So I'll click on that, and it actually brings up a little map of the United States. I will scoot over here. Oops, too far over. And we'll make it bigger so we can see it. And what it does is the color of each state reflects the count. And so it's a gradient. There's 2 beers in the very lightest states, 265 beers, in this case it must be Colorado, and the darkest states. Now, in terms of a chart, it's very similar to any other chart. Once you select it, it has its own 2 chart ribbons. You can choose a predefined chart format. There is a few settings that are unique to this kind of chart. So let's go ahead and format the series, the count, format that selection. And one of the things that you want to play with is the well, a couple things. There's the map projection. I haven't really messed with this a little bit, but basically what does the size of the map look like based on different projections? I just have it choose automatic. In terms of map area, only regions with data, country region, multiple country region, and the world. So if you click on this, you'll notice it puts us in context of Canada and Mexico. If you were to do the world, it would have the whole world in here as part of the chart. Doesn't really make much sense with this data, but you kind of get the idea. And then map labels. So right now we can say best fit only, and what it'll do is label every state, but notice it doesn't do these teeny states because there's not enough room to show the information. You can tell it to ignore that and just say, yep, show them all. And so you'll start to get the letter for Vermont or New Hampshire, Connecticut. So those are your choices right there. And then in terms of series color, right now we have a 2-color sequential. You can do a diverging 3-color. And so now it looks radically different. I don't know if one helps more than the other, but that's what that's for. The other thing I'll demonstrate, let's just take out Washington. Let's pretend Washington has no data, and maybe we'll do Montana also. We'll delete the information from Montana and Washington. So here's what that looks like. It just turns those states black. Under map area, only regions with data. This is not going to be a good demonstration. Let me go to the chart design and make it white. So now Washington and Montana are grayed out because there's no data. But if I switch this to only regions with data, it actually just removes them directly from the map. So let's say you only had a few states that had data. Well, then those states will show up, and the states without data would just be blanks in the map. And that's about it for this map chart. It's fairly easy to use. It works well when there's state information. At least the only other thing I'll mention is it has all the other features in terms of chart title and data labels. If you want to put in the number of, in this case, beers coming from each state, you can add that data label. You can also format that if we were to go to more data label options right here. You can add a series name or a category name or remove the value. similar to any other data label on any other chart. The other thing I should mention when we talked about the color of the data points. So let me run, oops, I haven't clicked on the chart, run over back to that series of the count, the series color. Just like conditional formatting, you can change what each color represents. So right now, if you want to make it a percentage or a particular number or just the lowest values, what it starts out with, but you could say, hey, I want all of this to be by percent. And so there's 0, 50, and finally 100% would be the darkest color. So anyway, similar to conditional formatting, I think that's it with charts. It has all the same features of all the other charts. I won't go through those details, but it's kind of a cool chart if you have the right data that you need to display in a map.